So I feel like the biggest concern for people is, for a few prospective Turo hosts, is renting out their vehicle to just some people. And you want to look at it first of all as a business. That's why you probably would not want to start with your own personal vehicle, because you're too attached to it emotionally, and it's not going to go well for you. But I feel like, and I've done research not only in my area, which is the Phoenix market, but just in general. I've looked at other markets, and it seems like the best vehicle, the safest vehicle in terms of getting good guests, responsible guests, and not having too many issues as far as smoking in the car, or speeding in the car, just kind of like a conservative vehicle. And again, this is a vehicle that I'm going to be looking at getting into sometime this year. I currently have a 2014 BMW 5 Series, which after the spring surge here in Phoenix, I will probably look at getting out of it in April, maybe mid-April, and then get myself put in a Toyota Sienna. So, and here's why. Just doing a bunch of research here, a Sienna is a type of vehicle that, first of all, you can, for the most part, yield a high day rate. And by high day rate, meaning on the low, during the slow times, easily you could rent it out for probably around $80 a day. But during peak season, that's the type of vehicle that you can get over $100 a day. I've seen as much as $140 a day, and probably more in certain markets. And that type of vehicle is a low risk vehicle, because the type of folks that would be renting that vehicle would be families. So drivers with kids in the vehicle, so they're less likely to do crazy stuff in it. Or business travelers, if people are flying in for a conference, something along those lines, they're probably going to want to rent a multi-passenger vehicle like a minivan. And Toyota Siennas seem to be the most popular of the minivans out there, more than Honda Odysseys, more than Chryslers, just from me doing my research. And so you figure another thing here, most of the time with a vehicle like that, you're gonna have families that are traveling probably for a week, or business travelers that are coming for 4 or 5 days, maybe for the work week, maybe flying in Sunday night, returning it Friday evening. So you're gonna get more bookings for longer periods of time. And those are always good bookings to capture, because for the most part, people are going to take care of the vehicle like it's their own. And again, if you're going to be bringing in, say about $100 on average a day on that vehicle, 5-7 day trips, that's $500-700. Now, granted, depending on the plan that you're on, you're going to give some of that to Turo. But you figure if you get a vehicle like that, could go out for, on average, just be surging too. Even this month in Phoenix, with it being a slow month in January, I'm seeing a lot of bookings on these Toyota Siennas, and there aren't that many. There's quite a few, but not that many, where I feel like if I get into one, especially with me, when I get into one, I'm gonna get into a new one, a brand new one. I'm gonna look at leasing one, and then I'll go with the maximum amount of mileage available on the lease. So if it's 15,000, if I can get a little more, I'm gonna get a little more. But there's a lot of there's a big need for minivans, especially Toyota Siennas from my research. So if on average you're going to rent that probably between 14 to 21 days on average. I mean, there may be times where it's gone for all but 5 days out of the month. but you figure, say 15 days on an average month, at $100, that's $1,500 right there. And then again, depending on the plan that you're on, what Turo takes out of that. But a vehicle, if you're leasing, if you're going to lease one, your payment's probably going to be well, that's why part of the reason why I'm waiting is I want to wait for the market to kind of normalize a bit. But I'm looking at my payment might be no more than right around or no more than $600, give or take. So that's kind of my target price. And if this vehicle is bringing me $1,500, and again, especially here in Phoenix, most months I'm going to be able to rent that car out for over $100 a day. A month like January, like this month, if I had it, just looking at how the market is, and now again, I don't have a minivan, but with my vehicles, I just got a booking today for my convertible, but it's been slow. But even with it being slow, I can still get probably about $80 a day for it during the slow months, and still get probably a good 10 to 15 days out of it too. So I feel like in terms of the money you get out of that, putting it on Turo versus your car payment, and especially with its popularity, it's definitely a great vehicle. Great. I mean, I actually, as a guest, I rented a Toyota Sienna in November for a trip, and it was an older one, it's 2014. But with me looking at a new one, and that's what I would recommend you guys to do, look at a new vehicle, because it'll first of all set you apart. There's a lot of 2018s, 2019s, but if you think about it, if you have a van on the platform, there's probably going to be higher usage in terms of miles. You're going to get a lot of families traveling into your city, but also you're going to have quite a few that probably are leaving your city, traveling. Like for example, me here in Phoenix, I'm probably going to get a bunch of families that are taking their kids to Disneyland, which is like a 5-hour drive, or San Diego, something like that. So you're going to get a lot of high mile trips, but that's another thing you want to plan for, is making sure that you don't have already a high mile vehicle that you're putting on the platform. So having a new one, a brand new one, definitely sets you apart. So again, in my opinion, if you're looking at getting into Turo, but just you've seen too many horror stories that have kind of scared you and pushed you away from becoming a host, a minivan would probably be a great start if you really want to get into the business. And for me, I definitely, right now, I have 2 BMWs, but again, I'm gonna figure something out with my 2014. I mean, it's an older vehicle. It's great, runs great, looks great. Even though it's been through quite a few hands on Turo, it's still pretty great, pretty mint condition for its age. And it doesn't have that many miles. I think I'm at about 92,000 miles, so it's not super high miles, but it's under warranty for another 7,000 miles. So that's why I hung on to it. But again, a minivan is what I'm going to look into, specifically a Toyota Sienna for my next vehicle. So again, if you want to give it a shot, but just worried about putting sports cars on there or putting luxury cars on there with the wear and tear. Another good thing with vans is it just takes regular unleaded fuel, so you don't have to worry about someone putting regular when your vehicle only takes unlimited. So it's such a pretty low risk, and it gives you a pretty good return on the daily rate, where it should definitely be a profitable vehicle. One thing obviously you want to account for is the cleaning. So it'll take longer to clean the vehicle versus a regular sedan, especially with kids and crumbs and chips and crackers in the back seats, back rows. But you want to build in into your price that time that that extra time that you're gonna spend cleaning the vehicle. The Sienna that I'm gonna look at will definitely be leather, because I don't want juices spilling on it, and I want something that would be easy to clean. Now, for the carpet, I do have a carpet cleaner, a portable carpet cleaner, but with my current vehicles, and even especially with the minivan, I'm gonna put probably floor mats, rubber floor mats, to cover all the carpet in the vehicle, at least where the feet and everything go. So I'll probably look at getting like a custom cutout for the minivan, just to make sure it covers pretty much everything. So yeah, I just wanted to come on and let you guys know, share that, and let you know obviously what vehicle I'm gonna look at getting into this year in 2023, and hopefully help you guys change your mindset about becoming a Turo host and jumping into it with a vehicle that again, for the most part, you're gonna get conservative type of guests, meaning it's going to be families, business travelers. So you're not going to get like if you have a Dodge Challenger, for example, or a Dodge Charger, you're going to get a lot of younger people that may smoke, may speed, may do everything in it, whereas a minivan, specifically a Sienna, will be I think a pretty profitable vehicle that you'll be happy to be offering. But of course, I haven't checked every market, so before you jump into any vehicle, you definitely want to do your market research and check the vehicles that you're looking at getting. So for example, if you are going to look into a Sienna, jump on as if you want to book a vehicle as a guest. And for the calendar, I would put dates that are probably 3 months out, just to make sure all the vehicles show up, versus checking for vans a week out, where there's probably gonna be 16 of them that are booked and you only see 8 of them. So you want to see how many are in your market before obviously you commit to it, and look at their calendar. So if you just click on change dates for your travel dates, look at the calendar, and if you see any dates scratched out, most likely it means that the vehicle is booked. It could mean that the host has made the vehicle unavailable, but most likely means that the vehicle is booked. So check how many days, obviously, the frequency, looking at the reviews, the guest reviews. Now again, the reviews that the guest or the host get for that car, it's not necessarily an indication of how often it gets rented out. Most of my guests, except probably 2 or 3, have not rated their trip, but most of them I always ask them to rate it, and they do. So I definitely want to do that and make sure that the vehicle makes sense in your market, and hopefully this video was helpful, and hopefully of course if you have any questions, feel free to comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm growing this channel. I'm trying to grow this channel, and the more subscribers, the more comments, the more likes I get, for sure it'll help the algorithm and reach out more people that are looking at getting into Turo or are currently Turo hosts. But more importantly, give me the encouragement to put more content out there, continue to make videos out and put them out there, and help all of us Turo hosts become one big successful community. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.